Good afternoon. Welcome back to another edition of Pan-African Digest podcast. I'm sorry that I've been away for some time. I was busy with other stuffs. I decided to make this podcast because of the present commotion in Ghana about the gentleman, let me call him a gentleman, who proclaimed himself a chief or whatever, the king of whatever. And this has provoked a lot of reaction, which is rather distressing. For serious Pan-Africanists like myself, it is a tragedy, really. The way we appear in Africa to take one step forward and 20 steps backward. I ask why unnecessary ulabalo generated by this tragic something. It's rather a tragic situation. That and because of one man, for whatever reason, decided to misbehave, it has turned to rather very noisy xenophobic, with people protesting and marching and making videos and all that. I will try to discuss this in two parts. First, I will address the Igbo community, and then I will pose some questions to the Ghanaians who are making all these noises. Few years ago, I wrote an article which I called "What Exactly Do the Igbos Want?" The question was provoked by the examples of some Igbos who, wherever they decide to make so much noise, which invariably leads to staining the reputation of the Igbo nation, and by extension the country Nigeria. The question I ask is, if any cultured person will not seek to impose on himself or his values on his own host community. You don't do that. A cultured person will always respect his space and the space of other people. Culture means that you know how to control your emotions. The last election, I made another statement which provoked a lot of reaction from the Igbo community. I told them that elections are won by campaigning, by selling yourself, not by insulting or not by provoking your host or other people. You win election by winning ads. They didn't go down with so many of my Igbo friends and contacts. Many of them love me, which is not. I really have no problem with that. What I have problem with, what makes it impossible for the elders of the Igbo community to caution their own people when they are misbehaving. There's an African proverb which says that if you do not caution your neighbor who is eating something, who is consuming something poisonous, his cries at night will keep you awake. The question is, the Igbo leaders, the elders in the Igbo community should be cautioning their people before they go too far. What is the need for the pomposity, the arrogance of people to try to want to impose themselves on other people, especially those who are hosting them? I mean, this is a behavior that is not acceptable, or will not be acceptable to any normal human being. We should be straight with that. And then there's no doubt that the Igbo nation, they are very industrious, they are very inventive. We cannot take that away from them. But then, why the need for arrogance? Why the need for pomposity? Your success should proclaim yourself. If you need to be making us about your success, it means that you're feeling inadequate. That's my own feeling about all this. Why the need to go around beating drums? I'm the best. I'm the champion. Whatever. Everybody is a champion in his own domain. At least we are not. You are not feeding other people. They give you a place to stay. Maintain cordial relationship with your host. Is that too much to ask? And then we move to before the I know that a lot of internet warriors will jump on me, and honestly, I really don't bother me that much. We have to be very straightforward in talking with ourselves. There's no need to hide, to be hypocritical. This is the time for straight talk. Those who read my article will easily recognize that I write provocatively, but I challenge with facts. And I will never play the hypocrite. That's not my style. So you may not agree with what I say. Try to counter it with the superior arguments. You're shouting. You're not. I really have no concern of me. I don't care. I don't give a damn. So from here we move to the Ghanaian TikTokers and those making videos and pouring vitriolics on Nigerians and on Igbo in general, on Igbos and on Nigerians in general. Let me ask a question: where would this lead us? I, as a Yoruba, and my name is Femi Akomolafe, I'm a Yoruba. I have more in common with the airways and the gas of Ghana than I have with any other people in Nigeria. How many of us realize this? We do not learn our history. We do not learn our culture. We do not. I mean, we are motivated. We are driven by emotions. Why don't we go back to school? Why don't we learn properly before we jump on the internet making stupid videos about this and that? I always refer to African nations as colonial garrisons. What is a Ghanaian? What is a Nigerian? Who made you a Ghanaian? A British cartographer made you a Ghanaian. A British cartographer made me a Nigerian. Lump us together to satisfy their colonial ambition. Today, we are waving flags. And the question, I'm working on an article with my friend Andy Kwaku. Why do we Africans refuse to be moved by the poverty we see in our country? Why are we not campaigning? Why are we not jumping up on the misleaders we have in Africa? This colonial plantation supervisor we call presidents, who are stealing our money, stealing our resources, giving it to the curators in the West. Why are we not concerned about that? A few years ago, there was an issue of Galamsey, which is with people accusing the Chinese and all that. Who invited the Chinese? Did the Chinese jump from space to land in the Ghana, where they're digging gold in Ghana? Why are we not concerned with those things? None of us agitated or led protests against the Chinese to deport the Chinese. Why do we have problem with our fellow Africans, especially with Nigerians? The poverty is widespread in Africa. The situation and the problem we face in Nigeria and the problem we face in the whole of Africa, are they not the same? Do we see Europeans living in our ghettos? Do we see Asians living in our ghetto? We give our resources, our so-called leader gives our resources away to so-called investors. Collect 5%, 10% for our resources. They consign us into ghettos. We are not moved by that. It is only when West Africa, a fellow African, is doing, then we get agitated. We are wrapping ourselves in our flags. For how long are we going to continue like this? We are not interested in my writings, I always give the example of the Chinese. A few days ago, the Chinese shattered physics. What did they do? They refueled a satellite in space. China is about 9 years older than Ghana. Can we compare ourselves? Those are the questions that should be agitating us, not a stupid guy who wants to make himself king for whatever reason. What? I mean, Ghana is a republic. Do we forget that? So how is it going to affect your livelihood? How is it going to put agitating against? How is that going to give you potable water? How is it going to improve your road system, your education system, your health system services? No, it's time we start thinking critically in Africa. We should forget all this primordial emotional outbursts proclaiming I'm a patriotic. Do we even understand what patriotism is? Patriotism should mean that we want our countries to improve, to make progress, to improve, to join the rest of humanity. But this stupid nationalism, do we even know the difference between nationalism and patriotism? What is the defining line between nationalism and fascism? You wrap yourself in flag and then insulting people up and down. So, when do we learn? I thank you very much for this, for watching this podcast. Until I will come again. I'm sorry that I get agitated with this. It's like 40 years of my campaigning for Africa has been thrown down the drain, and it's really distressing. I thank you for watching it. Bye. Oh, until I come to you with another edition, I say Ireo.